So you want to become a millionaire in your 20s. Here are the 5 lessons that when implemented will not only put you in the right path to becoming a millionaire, but will also allow you to level up as a person. It's one thing to become rich later in life, but becoming rich in your teens or even 20s will unlock a life that you never knew existed. And it's not simply because of the money, but because of the person that you need to become to earn that money. I mean, take it from me. I found my first gold rush at the age of 19. Turning views into income. Honestly, the biggest lesson that I've learned in the last few years is that there are truly a million ways to make $1 million. And that's why the first lesson is that you need to back yourself, because no one else will. Don't be afraid to try making money in different ways. When I first started my entrepreneur journey, this wasn't clear to me. But now after 5 years, I've realized that you have to have so much conviction in yourself, so much self-belief, because when you start, it doesn't matter what business model you're in. Whether it's a crowded market or a brand new space, you're basically diving into the unknown. And the first thing you'll realize is that everyone has an opinion. Whether it's your friends, family, or even coworkers, they'll say something like,
"Are you sure about this, Paul? That sounds risky. I don't know if that's gonna work out."
and I'm fairly certain that their intentions are good. And sometimes they're just trying to protect you. But other times, people just don't believe in you. And so like the only constant thing that you have is your self-belief. And you need to have this feeling like you see things that others don't. And that you're willing to take risks that others won't. And that you're backing yourself every step of the way. Because like I said, no one else is going to do it. The second lesson will apply to you whether you're just starting out, you're in the middle of your journey, or giving entrepreneurship a second chance. Speed is one of the most underrated things that you could have in entrepreneurship and in life. And there's this concept when it comes to money about compounding interest. So if you put $100 in the bank and earn 10%, and the next year you're making 110, over time those returns multiply. And speed works exactly the same way. The faster you move, the more decisions you make, and more of those results compound over time. And your time between decision and execution is faster than anyone else. You will realize that you're way farther than others because you're moving at such pace that others are not. And this comes down to really the micro things. And I see this so much with first-time entrepreneurs. They like overanalyze and get so critical about the small decisions that they need to make, like the logo, the color, or even the perfect bio. And let me just say, even the most experienced entrepreneurs do the same. They fixate on the small things, holding endless debates instead of moving forward. The reality is, a decision is way better than no decision. Like Hyson has said,
slow motion is better than like no motion.
For example, a lot of new creators move way too slow because they want everything to be perfect. It's kind of like someone who waits 6 months to post their very first TikTok video, overthinking about the script, the lighting, and how people will react, while other creators are able to post 30 videos in the same time frame. And sure, maybe half of those videos flop, but the other half will give them feedback, data, and maybe even hit their first viral video. The truth is, speed beats perfection every time. Every quick decision that you make gives you something real to learn from. And when you're early in the game, your idea of perfection doesn't really matter. The only way you actually figure out what perfection is through feedback. And that feedback doesn't come from you just sitting around, overthinking, and not doing anything. It comes from you making a decision and actually trying. It's from people watching your content, clicking, buying, or ignoring it. That will help you see what real perfection looks like. If your video gets 0 views, that's feedback. If your drop sells out, that's feedback. Every action will give you a signal. So instead of dragging out the time between idea and execution, you want to shorten it as much as possible. The faster you test, the faster you learn. The third lesson's a bit spicy, but a lot of people get anxious whether it's starting the business or being in the business. And you have to realize that anxiety is part of the process. It's a feature, not a bug. When your business is growing, there's going to be stress. And the customers are going to come back to you, and there's going to be problems that's happening. And that anxiety that you feel, that will push you forward. That's a feature. It's a privilege. The only reason that you're feeling that is because you're being molded into a bigger person. Here's the cool part. The more that you stay in the game, the more that your threshold grows. And the thing that kept you up at night this year will be something that you laugh at the following year. And you will need something bigger, more dramatic, more revenue to get you on that stress level. But you have to realize if you don't feel stressed or anxious, that's a red flag. It means you're too comfortable, stagnant, and not even growing. And I'm not saying you should be in panic mode 24/7. But there are seasons in your entrepreneur journey where you feel like you're in flight or fight mode for months. And that's just the growth cycle. So next time that you feel that anxiety reframe it. Don't run from it. Recognize it as part of the process of you becoming the person you're supposed to be. Lesson 4. I'm so passionate about this one. So many people will tell you that you need to focus on the processes, the systems to scale your business. That's true at a certain point of your journey. But in the early days, you need to do unscalable shit. Shit that doesn't even make sense. Because those are the things that will elevate you at the start. And I'll give you a really good example. Alex Hormozi has this great line.
I get happier about the harder it is because I know that no one else will follow. If you can shift from this is hard to no one else will be able to do this, then it flips from being this thing that you're like, oh, poor me, to oh, poor everyone else who's going to have to fucking try.
And that's the point. Unscalable things are the stuff that your competitors won't do. And that's exactly what will give you an extra edge. And the longer you're prepared to do unscalable shit, the bigger the outcome. It changes forms over businesses. And here's a great example that I did at the start of my journey. When I first started my marketing agency, I guaranteed my clients that I will get them 1 million views in 1 month or their money back. I knew if I could generate 1 million views in a single month and get 1 million people to see their product, it will create a big impact in their business. Now, let me tell you, that shit was not scalable. It took insane effort, time, and consistency. But for my clients, it made a difference that no systems could replace. Lesson number 5, and this one brings a smile to my face. And it's the concept of being cringe. And I think the more cringy you are, the better. So if you take this in the context of content, the first time that you hit post, you're probably going to be like,
oh, my friends, my family, what are they gonna think?
And it's going to feel so wrong and embarrassing. And that's exactly why you should do it. And it doesn't just mean that your content is cringe. Cringe is in so many different formats. Like putting yourself out there. You know, like when you speak into the world what you want to do or what you want to achieve. And just being the authentic you. People will say to you,
oh, that's so cringy.
And when you're successful, they're gonna ask,
how'd you do it, bro?
Because they're not prepared to do it themselves. And if you think about where we are in 2025 and see how many businesses there are and how saturated the marketing space is, cringe is often the thing that will cut through and stop the scroll. In terms of marketing, what are you doing to get people's attention? And that thing is often what people see as cringe. When you're the first person on a trend or a new idea, and that usually means people are going to be like,
I can't believe you did that.
And when you find something that will break through the algorithm, people will start replicating it. And once people start replicating it, it's no longer seen as cringe. And you will no longer feel like you're out of place because the masses are doing it. And so being unique is often seen as being cringe. And so whatever you could do to become that magnet for attention, do it. So I hope in the time that you invested into this video, you were able to find something valuable in the lessons that I've learned through the 5 years of my entrepreneur journey. Now, I'm not a YouTuber if I don't tell you to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Drop a comment. You'll notice that I respond to them. And if there's other videos or conversations that you guys want to have, just let me know. Follow along and I'll catch you next time.